Well now, pull up a chair and let me tell you all a story that'll warm your heart right to its core. This story is about a woman named Maria, a single mother with a spirit as strong as they come. Every night after tucking her two little ones into bed, Maria would head off to work as a janitor at the big, bustling airport. It was a tiring job, with long hours spent sweeping floors and cleaning windows while the rest of the city slept. But Maria did it all with a quiet dignity, knowing that she was providing for her children the two brightest stars in her sky. One particular evening, the airport was quieter than usual. The last flights had departed and the terminals were mostly empty, save for a few weary travelers waiting for their connections. Maria was meticulously sweeping near a row of benches in the main concourse, the rhythmic sound of her broom a familiar comfort in the vast, silent space. As she swept under one of the seats, her broom hit something soft. She bent down, her brow furrowed with curiosity, and pulled out a small black purse. It felt surprisingly heavy. She glanced around. The concourse was deserted. Cautiously, Maria unzipped the purse. Her eyes widened and her breath caught in her throat. Tucked inside were stacks of $100 bills. She quickly, almost nervously, counted them. It was $10,000. $10,000. More money than Maria had ever held in her hands at one time. Her mind started racing. That money could change everything. It could pay the rent for months, cover all the overdue bills piled up on her kitchen table, and finally buy new shoes for her growing kids, whose toes were peeking out of their old ones. It was a lifeline, dropped right at her feet. For a moment, just a fleeting moment, the temptation was overwhelming. No one had seen her find it. Who would ever know? It felt like a miracle, a prayer answered in the most unexpected way. But then she thought of her children. She thought of the lessons she tried to teach them every day. To be good, to be honest, to do the right thing even when it's hard. How could she look them in the eye, knowing she had taken something that wasn't hers? What kind of mother would that make her? In that instant, her decision was made. The struggle in her heart ceased. She clutched that bag tight, not with greed, but with a fierce determination to protect it. With her shoulders squared and her head held high, she marched straight to the airport's lost and found office. The clerk on duty looked up, surprised to see her. "Maria, what have you got there?" he asked. Without a word, Maria placed the purse on the counter and explained where she'd found it. The clerk's eyes grew wide as he looked inside. He whistled softly. "Wow, Maria. You know what you could have done with this?" Maria just shook her head and gave a small, firm smile. "It's not mine to do anything with," she said simply, before turning to go back to her duties, a weight lifted from her shoulders. A few hours later, just as Maria was finishing her shift, a frantic commotion echoed through the terminal. A woman was running back towards the lost and found, her face streaked with tears, her voice filled with panic. "My purse!" she cried out to anyone who would listen. "I lost my purse. Please, has anyone seen it?" The clerk from the lost and found gently guided her to the counter. When he produced the small black purse, the woman let out a sob of pure, unadulterated relief. She explained between gasps and tears that the money was for her husband's emergency surgery. They had saved for years, and in her exhaustion and worry, she had left the purse behind after seeing him off on a flight to a specialist hospital. When the clerk told her that a janitor named Maria had turned it in, the woman asked to see her immediately. When she found Maria, she didn't just thank her. She threw her arms around her and hugged her like a long-lost sister, crying on her shoulder. "You saved my husband's life," she whispered. "You are an angel." The woman tried to press a reward into Maria's hand, a thick wad of bills from the purse. "Please," she insisted. "You have to take this. You deserve it." But Maria, with that same gentle firmness, closed the woman's hand back over the money. She shook her head. "No, ma'am," she said, her voice soft but steady. "I can't. I just want my kids to see that doing the right thing is always more important than having more. Your husband's health is the only reward I need." The woman just stared at her eyes filled with awe and gratitude, before hugging her one last time. "Well, you know how stories like this go. Word of Maria's incredible act of honesty spread through that airport like wildfire. It wasn't just the other janitors and the clerks who heard about it. The pilots, the flight attendants, the security guards, the managers. Everyone was talking about the janitor with the heart of gold. Her supervisor called her into his office the next day, not for a reprimand, but for a celebration. He told her that her integrity reflected the very best of their company. Before long, Maria was offered a promotion to a supervisory role, a position with better pay and daytime hours, which meant more time with her children. And that wasn't all. At the end of the year, at the company's annual awards ceremony, Maria was brought up on stage. To her complete shock, she was named Employee of the Year. The entire auditorium rose to their feet, a thunderous applause filling the room for the humble janitor who had shown them all what true character looked like. She was also given a significant bonus, a gift from the company to honor her actions. That night, Maria went home, not just with a trophy and a check, but with a heart so full it felt like it might burst. She hugged her children tighter than ever before, the warmth of their little bodies a far greater treasure than any amount of money. As she tucked them into bed, she knelt down and thanked God for giving her the strength to do the right thing, for blessing her honest hands and guiding her heart. And that, my dears, is how a janitor who had so little, who worked so hard for every penny, showed the entire world what real riches look like. It isn't found in a lost purse or a bank account. It's found in a heart full of honesty, a clear conscience, and the love of a family who knows you'll always choose what's right. Thank you for listening to this little story with me today. If it touched your heart, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more tales that warm the soul. Until next time, be kind to one another.